Welcome to Dad Jitsu.
Hi guys.
We are here back for episode 5. We're half. Is it 10 episodes? No, 20.
20 or 22.
We're 25% of the way to being in the top 1% of podcasts worldwide.
Yep.
Think about that.
Stay with us.
Hey, think about. I wonder what we are in the top what percent? 5%?
What, right now?
Yeah.
Maybe. You're going to be jumping through the gears, aren't you? With every
Pretty
episode.
close. Pretty close.
Pretty good, man.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
Had some good feedback from you guys. Tell you what would be good is if you guys comment on the YouTube video and just let us know who's listening. I know people from training and various people have said they've been listening, but yeah, do a little comment and then do the like and subscribe.
Hit the bell.
Yeah, hit a bell.
Yeah.
Just in real life.
I don't even know what that means. I just know people say it.
Yeah, that's it. I
Well-
think it means you get updates. I think it will update you when we release stuff. And sometimes I'm starting to upload little clips, little shorts. So
Oh, it's
it'll
a
update
notification
you.
thing.
Yeah, that's it. But we want to get to 4,000 subscribers because then we can monetize the YouTube channel.
Hello.
And then we're going to be famous.
Yeah. We're going to be big. Well, we're already big deals, right? We're just letting the world know we're big deals.
Yeah, look, if you're not a big deal, but you're going to be a big deal,
Yeah.
that means you're probably a big deal already, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
If you think you are, it's true.
Yeah.
yeah.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah. Believe. What was it? Conceive, believe, achieve.
Yeah. Deceive, believe, achieve.
Steve.
There we go,
dear.
guys. That's us for today.
See you next week. What a pair of twats.
Right, we asked for your questions. Again, we'll try and draw them back into being fucking old and
Or
decrepit.
we'll
and-
spin off on a tangent where you're scaring intruders off with an axe and doing the flappy dick dance
Yeah,
in the nud
without an axe, just scaring them off with my
with your weapon.
fleshy axe.
I don't know what order to do these questions in. So okay,
Just chuck them out.
chuck them out. Any tips for shift workers trying to add BJJ in their schedule? I mean, it's finding people who are in a similar position. Surely, you know.
Yeah, when I started jiu-jitsu, I was a shift worker. I was a nurse. And yeah, I had to do nights and, earlies and lates and things like that. So, yeah, what did I used to do? Well, firstly, you need to find a gym with a good
Timetable.
That's crucial. We spoke about that before in terms of like being a parent. But I think if your gym has got like say 3 or 4 classes a week, and there's no they're doing them out of sports halls and stuff, it's very difficult. And
hard.
some weeks you might not be able to train
Yep.
if your shifts don't allow.
Yeah.
I think we've got a pretty good timetable.
It's great.
And yeah, there's a lot of guys we train with firemen and just various different shift workers, paramedics, things like that, and they struggle to get to classes. So yeah, we have a good sort of scene of people who come in outside of class timetable, the class timetable, and will train. And yeah, there's a lot. There's probably a regular 3 to 5 sessions throughout the week, and that's just what I know about.
Yeah.
There might be other splinter cells, black ops groups getting in. I know there was a grey jitsu group at one point, but I'm not old enough to join that group. But
You
yeah,
should be now. I'm a grey jitsu member.
Oh, yeah, I'm not.
Oh, you're not.
I'm staying out of it.
You're in denial, are you?
I'm in denial. I'm bald, so I'm not really grey.
That's true. You can hide that grey forever, really.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No one will ever know. So yeah, I'm quite young, and I look quite young. I'm ageless. I could be 25.
Yeah.
Could be 45.
Yeah. Adult, straddling the adult and masters division.
Yeah.
Smashing everyone.
So people are not sure.
Yeah. It's a mystery wrapped up in an enigma.
Yeah, let's go with that. So I'm not joining the grey jiu-jitsu. Anyway, there are splinter cells, black ops groups. There's lots of training going on. So to get back to the question, I think, you've got to find a gym with a good timetable and a gym that you can come in just whenever, basically.
Yeah, right.
Which isn't, I don't think that's actually that common.
Not a lot of the Gracie gyms are they don't.
It's
do a lot
just
of
for
that
class
thing,
time, they'll open in the evening and maybe they're open at lunch sort of thing.
And they're not.
I know,
They're not
yeah.
good with you popping in as a non-member either. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
The ones I've rung up when I've been up north to see my family and stuff. There's a couple of Gracie gyms up there, and they're like, no, if you're not a full paid member at 150 quid a month or whatever, then no, you can't come in.
shit,
It
isn't
is
it?
shit.
I think you should. My personal opinion and I don't run a gym, so whatever. Nova, back it in. What's she doing?
Just messing with my water bowl.
She probably wants a drink. Go and drink out of the tap in the garden, it's leaking. Just put your head underneath.
Lovely toilet in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't run a gym, so, you know, I don't understand insurance and things like that. But I always just think, people drop in, you should just let them train.
It's the nature of the sport, right?
Yeah.
It's a very welcoming, very open arms kind of sport. It's like, you know.
Yeah.
I
know people will be like, oh, this guy, so naive.
Maybe, maybe we're missing something.
But
vital.
yeah, it's like, just let them drop in and like, it's good for the sport.
Yeah, and there's also probably going to be a percentage of those people that come and drop in and then end up staying in that area or whatever, and then using that gym and becoming a paid member.
Yeah.
We definitely get that because of the military aspect to our gym, right?
Yeah.
You get people that stay for a chunk and then they go off and then they come back and
Stand by.
yeah, she's into a lot of stuff.
She's into a lot of stuff. Nova.
What you doing, babes?
Oh. Go on. Go and get a drink. Whoa! Go and get a drink.
Henry's just rung the gym bell.
That was a crowbar.
He's such a man.
At least it wasn't the axe.
Yeah, it is. I think it should be more, you know. Our gym's very welcoming, isn't it? You get a lot of people dipping in, dipping out.
You do have to pay like a
Yeah.
session rate, so
But
it's not free, but I think
fine.
they have changed it now so that people, it's easier to drop in.
Yeah. I think, that's fine. You're using the facilities, so you know.
Yeah, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
But I mean, getting in around, it's difficult, isn't it? Can you speak to your work to get a regular shift pattern?
Yeah.
Like, you know, butter up your manager. Who does the rota? Go and speak to them and like get in.
But
with
also,
them. Chuck them a little hand job occasionally.
yeah, always good to get things done.
Yeah.
I think also just, you know, seek out people in the gym who are also shift workers and see if you can line up with them and just get some drilling, rolling in with them. Kind of use the COVID mentality, make your own little bubble.
Yeah.
You know, that could be good as well.
Yeah.
I find I do a lot of the daytime stuff just because I teach in the evenings at home or I'm gigging. So we, you know, and our gym's great again, Gym 01. There's a lot of daytime classes with, for people in our position. So yeah, I think it's both those things, isn't it? It's just try and speak to work, see what flexibility you've got, and also find people in a similar position to you.
Yeah, I guess the other thing you could do is if you have the resources, is set up like a home gym.
Yeah.
And, you know, find someone that lives close to you and sort of try and get in, you know, get a little group of mates together and just get some instructionals or drill what you've been doing, you know, and just go full Fight Club and just set up the mats and don't bother practicing, just tear lumps out of each other. Yeah, literally. That's a good shout if you've got the resources to get the mats and you've got the space and things like that. Grappling dummy, maybe. I know there's a few people we train with who regularly go away and drill. There's a few people I do one-to-ones with who've got grappling dummies and they go away and practice things we've done in one-to-ones on the grappling dummies. But I personally wouldn't do that. I'd find that really boring. But if it works for you, then...
I've got one.
Yeah.
And I had high hopes for it.
Yeah.
Nicknamed it Dave. I think it was my son Ben that nicknamed him Dave. And yeah, you could, to a degree, you can drill a lot of stuff where the dummy's on its back, but try and do anything from bottom or anything where you're trying to use closed guard or anything, this thing just flops all over you.
It's like shit white belt.
Yeah, it just pisses me off.
Yeah.
There's a very limp for me anyway, and I used it throughout COVID. A lot of solo stuff I did in COVID and stuff with Ben. But to this day, we live out in the sticks. There aren't really many people around that I can just call on to be like, do you fancy getting together?
Yeah,
I'd love that. But yeah, those people aren't around. So I use the dummy when I can, but I use it for a little while in a session. And eventually I'm just like, oh, fuck you, Dave. It's just so hard. You're trying to get anything off or trying to move in any kind of way that isn't just something you could do with a punch bag. It's just hard.
It's not the same, is it?
It's not the same.
You know, stand-up martial arts you can just do on your own. Shadow box, punch bags, that is good stuff, and you can practice a lot of stuff.
Definitely.
Whereas in grappling, you need a live human.
You can do like shadow, stuff like arm drags and stuff like that, but collar ties. But it's limited. It's very limited. You need another person.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah, the guy, one of the chaps I do one-to-ones with, we did like the whole like front headlock system that I do, and he went home and he was practicing on the grappling dummy. He was sort of saying, yeah, and I was like, yeah, but you never tapped him, did you? He's just like, it's difficult, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those would be the sort of things that I think about if you're trying to work around shift work. And if there are weeks where you can't train on the mats, I'd be lifting.
Yeah.
You know, I'd be interspersing it with, you know, good conditioning work, good lifting.
Good cardio.
Because you can go to the gym anytime, can't you? So if you're like, you look at your thing and you think, I can't do any jiu-jitsu this week, bump your lifting up. Do like 3-4 lifting sessions and 2 cardio sessions or whatever, but increase that for that week. Maybe next week you can get 3 jiu-jitsu sessions in. Great, go back to pull the lifting down. You know, I would alternate it like that.
Good shape.
You know,
I tend to, I'll go for a run or whatever, or do some lifting, or more than normal sort of thing. Yeah, but you're right. It's like maintenance work, then, isn't it? You know, you're not progressing your jiu-jitsu game, but you're just souping up your body, ready for the next time. You know.
Thing is, if your work's really getting in the way of jiu-jitsu as well, how committed are you to the jiu-jitsu lifestyle?
Your job.
Like, you need to quit your job.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about that. Just quit your job.
Yeah.
What's life about if you're not doing jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. Become a pro athlete.
Yeah.
Well,
Pro masters.
There you go. That could lead us on to the next question.
Seniors.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a pro hobbyist.
Pro hobbyist. I think I'm a pro
hobbyist.
as well.
Well, technically, I'm a hobbyist pro because I am a professional jiu-jitsu person.
Yeah.
I teach jiu-jitsu. I get paid for it. I've competed and been paid for it.
So you're a what are
but
you?
I only train 3 days a week. They are double sessions 3 days a week, but
then
I am a pro hobbyist.
To teach is to learn, so you are.
I teach. I am doing jiu-jitsu in some form, probably 6 days a week, but I only actually properly train 3 days a week. And I'll do one-to-ones and stuff around that, but that's not real training. Sometimes you'll spar in them, but So yeah, I'm pro hobbyist.
Pro hobbyist.
Hobbyist pro.
So I think I'm the other one.
Just
pro hobbyist. Just hobbyist. Exactly. Amateur hobbyist. So that the money side of it, leaving your job, leads us on to the next question about CJI.
Oh yeah, CJI. Yeah.
I forget who this came from. How do you think jiu-jitsu will change with CJI potentially overtaking ADCC? Let's talk about CJI first.
CJI was banging.
Fucking amazing.
There was a lot of hype leading up to it.
It delivered as well.
And it delivered on every level. There was not, like, the only thing... You know what? I actually haven't watched the Craig and Gabby match.
Oh, really?
Didn't watch it. What was the other super fights? There was Fionn and...
oh, God.
Yeah, I've watched that one. Mackenzie
Dern. There was going to be Mikey Musumeci.
I know, I don't know, and that just went silent.
Well, there was a contractual issue with his opponent.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Oh, with his opponent?
I believe so, yeah.
Oh,
I believe
that's interesting.
So, yeah.
And they never actually released who that was, did they?
No.
Okay. Was there another super fight? No, I think that might have been it.
There was, there was talk, I think there was maybe talk of another one, but
yeah.
I forget what it was.
But yeah, it was banging.
You know what's really good about it, and I'm sure this was the intended, what they intended to do with it. It just brought so many more eyes to the sport, people that don't necessarily train. It hit the progressive button with the intergender super fight with Craig and Gabby. Do you know what I mean? But in all jokes aside, it was a bit crazy, but it was also
I guess so.
The whole controversy about the Olympics and all that. It was like, well, fuck it, let's just have a man versus a woman.
I always just thought that whole thing was just a joke, really. But
it kind of was, but at the same time, it probably, a lot of people probably thought, what, a man versus a woman? Let's see what that's all about.
Gabby's stock went up big time.
Massively,
so I think before that, I don't necessarily think she was viewed in the best light.
Okay.
Like, she was always a bit of the villain. As like the villain,
heel
like
sort
in
of
the
thing.
women's division, is just fucking huge, and it was like Mackenzie Dern beat her, and everyone was buzzing about that, and she beat out that old lady in MMA. So I think
tragic,
but she came off really well, in the whole build up to it and everything, and then she had some good post fight interviews and things like that. And,
she was such a good sport. The whole thing, she really was. It was wicked.
I think she came off really well, so that was cool to see. But the whole, I think. The main thing was the pit, the alley. That is a game changer.
It borrowed from Karate Combat, right?
Yeah, they had to speak to Karate Combat because Karate Combat have got a patent on that.
They have. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
they have.
thought, okay, I didn't realise that existed.
So they had to speak to them about it. Obviously, Craig's competed on it, so I guess they're good friends. And they said that they could use it. And I think other events are now talking to them and being like, because the other events, big events, are like, we need to use this because this is so exciting. It makes everything so exciting. So they're speaking to them about using it. I don't want to say who, but they're big events. But for me, it's like a logistical problem because a lot of events they have them in like theatres or like sports halls and things like that. But the pit obviously is raised up. So if you usually put an event on the stage, obviously the crowd are below that.
Yeah.
If you've got a pit, that's a bit of a logistical issue, isn't it? Like you really limit where you can put matches, like where you can put events on, because you don't want to use stadiums really.
No.
Because unless it's CJI, obviously, and like everyone, you're going to get 30 or 50 or 100,000 people in. But like most big events, but like not like huge events, like say the Flow Who's Number One.
Yeah.
Like they never get like 100,000 people get and watch that. Like
right.
maybe on a good day they're getting like 5,000.
Yeah.
But it's still an amazing event. It's one of the best events in the world because of the names they get on there. But like you don't want to put that in a stadium. 5,000 people, it's just going to feel shit.
Yeah.
So like, where do you the venue
tricky,
that you can choose to if you have the pit? It's difficult, isn't it?
Because you want them to be close. You want to be able to sort of see it properly, don't you? Yeah, I think it felt very much like the future of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, definitely.
It really did. It didn't feel like it was trying to be some other organisation. It felt like it was.
It was his own thing. Wasn't it?
Very much its own thing. My favourite bit was definitely the 45-degree wall in the alley. Just because the action can just keep going. There isn't all of that out of bounds. The referee doesn't have to get as involved. You don't have to keep resetting. And whenever so many times in other competitions, you get the competitors are getting to this position where someone's got an advantage and they've got this so they're in this spot and then they've got to get up and re-gut and sit back down. It's just a bit shit, innit? Whereas this point one, I keep hitting the mic, so sorry if that's banging. Point one, the action could just keep going, and point two, there's going to be an evolution of moves that are going to come from that. People are going to start pushing the boundaries, like they did with the cage in MMA, like Showtime, Anthony Pettis with his jump off the cage, all that kind of stuff. Because you're not standing up when you're up against that 45-degree wall. You can't really shoulder walk up to standing. You've got to do something, and it's a new in the grappling world. It's a new thing, isn't it? It's a new element. So it's going to continue. I think it's going to continue to evolve. But I think ultimately, it was his own thing, and also it's going to bring more eyes to the sport, which equals more money. There's going to potentially make the sport a bit more mainstream.
Yeah, I mean they want to do it every year, don't they?
Right.
Which I think would have a negative impact on ADCC. I think if they did it every 2 years and it was like alternating with ADCC, that would be okay. But ADCC, I think there's a bit of a pin in it at the moment because we don't really know. Like Mo's stepped down and he's not running it anymore, so they're going to be getting someone else in to run it. So it'll be interesting to see how that develops and like their relationship with the CJI organisers, and I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Obviously, the history is incredible. It's the deepest sort of event, if you like, in grappling. They need to. I don't think it will just go away and it'll be like, no one cares about ADCC anymore. No. They need to kind of re-establish it.
They've got to evolve too.
They do need to evolve, yeah. I mean, and they need to look at CJI and think, look, there are so many good things that happen there. Like we need to learn from it and try and adapt and evolve.
I think I read somewhere that the top prize for ADCC athletes is $10,000, right?
I think they changed. No, it's not. It's
maybe that's old news.
I think it was. I can't remember now. It was all in the press, wasn't it? I think it was 10,000 for the winner, but now I think they changed it and it was like 40k or something like that. I can't remember. And then they started paying them. Like there were changes this year. They started paying them, and then they like increased the prize money and things like that.
Okay, because I know that the CJI for each competitor got 10 grand, right?
Yeah.
But they got $10,001, which is a real fucking
good, isn't it?
Craig Jones move. Yeah. So maybe it was following that.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That they upped the thing.
Yeah, but I think CGI has changed the game.
Yeah.
I think we'll start to see shows that we know and love, like adapting their like playing field,
Yeah.
and changing it, which would be amazing. Like,
I hope so.
Yeah.
I'd love for the 45 degree wall to be a standard. in jiu-jitsu.
yeah, it'd be so cool. And
So amazing,
I'd love
yeah.
to try it out. I think you probably see a lot of gyms building the walls, like just
Yeah.
pure jiu-jitsu gyms, probably
Yeah.
investing in, because it's not going to cost that much, is it? A lot of them have like a flat wall.
Yeah.
It would be slightly more to build like the frame, but like why not?
Yeah, most gyms have got a tradie that trains, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Chippy,
Yeah, just build a frame out of wood. But yeah, I think the round format worked really well. I wasn't really sure about the round format. I thought this could be a bit boring. Like 15 minutes is a long time. 5-minute rounds. I'm like, this could get a bit stale. But actually, I feel like it was quite exciting.
Yeah.
And it sort of ramped it up. I think, did they release who was winning each round?
It's open scoring.
Yeah, so
that's what you
the
mean.
competitors knew, didn't they, who was winning each round? Yeah, so, and that was good. That was good.
I quite like the open scoring, to be fair.
Yeah.
There's mixed opinions on it, but I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
Because as a spectator as well, it's nice to kind of be abreast of what's going on round to round.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, definitely, yeah. And it sort of builds attention.
Yeah.
It's like one thing that you think would be really boring, but is actually really good, is watching the weightlifting at the Olympics.
Right.
Because like you see all the scoring, and then they show you like who's like going to do what lift next and how much they're going to lift, and then they're showing you backstage, and then you see the other coaches like putting in their like, oh, we're going to lift this, and then and they can pull that back at any time. They can change it, and then the other coach is like, oh, okay, we're going to try and do this, and then it sort of ramps up, and it's really like there's a lot of theatre there.
Yeah.
And I felt like in some ways that the CGI kind of scoring system kind of did that. You were like, oh, he's won the first round. Oh, no, now he's won the second round. Oh, it's all to play for in this last round sort of thing. Or oh, the guy's won 2 rounds. Like, he's got to submit him in the last round. It was kind of exciting, you know, rather than just guessing at that stuff. Well, I've got him ahead. Like,
Exactly.
You don't really know.
Yeah.
And then there's a decision, you think, fucking hell, I wouldn't have called that. Like, that's bullshit.
Yeah, totally.
Whereas when you're seeing it in the moment, you're like, this is exciting.
This is actually happening. Yeah, exciting is the word. That's what it was. If it was one thing, it was exciting from beginning to end. And, you know, you got guys like Andrew Tackett, you know.
Mate, the under 80 was...
Insane.
That whole division was amazing. The over 80 was a little bit boring. There were some really good matches, like obviously Nicky Ross smashed it. That Lucas Kennard was really good, and he got a big upset. And there were some great matches, but there were probably, you know, let's say like 5 or 6 people like missing from it really. Like some of the big boys, obviously, like the new wave guys.
Yeah.
They really, if you want to have the best over 80 bracket, Gordon's got to be in there, Merigali's got to be in there, Bordoni's got to be in there.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of good people, like, who would be, like, all, like, favourites in their own right, who needed to be in there, really, to make the over 80 really exciting.
Yeah, definitely.
So, that was, you know, that was a bit of a shame, but it is what it is. I mean, do you think that any of the new wave guys will ever do CJI?
It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because there's a lot of beef there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, who knows? I mean, money talks, right?
I mean, surely the best thing is just to go and win it.
Yeah, because that's a big fuck you then, isn't it?
Yeah, because then they're like, it's competition shit, we won it.
Yeah, totally, yeah.
Like,
back to the real thing. Yeah, I guess.
I think Dana has said, like, none of the new wave guys were allowed to do it. But I guess that was like, there was a big whole beef with ADCC, and there was a whole thing there, wasn't there? But now we're doing the next one. That beef has kind of been put to bed now, kind of, in a way. I mean, obviously there's probably still beef there, but now there's a new ADCC organiser, all that sort of, so it's kind of like, right, this is a competition now.
Yeah.
There's $1 million to win.
Yeah, it's not
like, there's going to be different divisions, I think, this time, maybe another division. Like,
is that right?
It's going to be every year, like, in theory. I feel like Danaher has to sort of say, we'll let the guys do it.
I mean, he's doing
the best thing to do would be, because, and again, like, Bordoni's like, I could win $1 million.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're not allowed to do it.
Yeah, he's
like,
doing his athletes a disservice by if he does that, I think. Yeah, massively. And who knows, if that gets pushed, they might jump ship anyway. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. If you're a Merigali, or probably not Gordon, but like Merigali or Bordoni, and they're like, well, I could feasibly go and win that.
Yeah.
Like, but I'm not allowed to.
Yeah,
what's that about?
There's no contract sort of thing. It's more just, I don't know. Depends on the individual, doesn't it? It's a new, feels like a new landscape is emerging.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, definitely. It's exciting, man.
It's all gone a bit quiet though since then. There's definitely been a bit of a come down.
Yeah.
Like, there's been some good events, there's been some good Polarises and things like that, but like the online jiu-jitsu world, if you like there was so like I was logging on every day, just like,
Yeah.
what's going to be next?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
who's
yeah.
going to be announced? Like, what beef is
Oh my
going?
God.
Like between
Such a build-up.
ACC and who's saying what? Like, it was so exciting. And now it's just like there's just nothing going on.
What a
really.
weekend that was.
Man, yeah, it was
Fucking
great.
hell. I mean, I say a weekend. It took me about a week to watch it all because the CGI particularly was like 9 hours of jiu-jitsu, and I'm watching it in between looking after the kids and
Just watching it on the toilet.
having a shit. Yeah, watching the little hands coming under the door. Daddy, fuck off. Yes, I've been in here for an hour and a half, but Daddy, it's me time.
Yeah, I watched it like I think I got up. I had work at like 5:30. I think I got up at like 4 and watched like an hour and a half of it, just like skipping through, like just like finding the next match. And that was like, I think it was still live. I think I caught up.
Okay.
And then I was watching it live, and then I got to work, and then I had like, usually I'd have one-to-ones, but I think someone cancelled, so I was just sat in the van, just like watching it. Like,
It was a great moment, isn't it? Where you're like, oh,
yeah, it was good. Yeah,
extra half hour, extra hour sort of thing.
But yeah, no, it was banging. It was banging. What's the next? What's the next
The
question?
next question is, well, this is actually one just for you, I guess. How do you find balancing parenting, training, and building the Pike Performance business?
I guess you could just say, parenting, training, and working.
Yeah.
It is hard. Like, it is actually really.
Spinning plates.
Yeah, you're spinning plate, constantly spinning plates. The grass is always greener, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I'm sure every parent will sort of relate to this. And you just think you're trying to like run a business, grow a business, you're trying to train. And our hobby isn't exactly like, let's say, rugby, where you train once a week, play a game once a week.
Yeah.
You want to do it all the time. So you've got a very involving hobby, and then you've got your family, and you look at like young single guys who are like living, say, like a parallel life to you, like they're training and they're running like a similar business to you, and you just think, you've got so much fucking time.
And more to the point, they don't realise how much time they've got.
No, literally. And you do get a bit envious.
Yeah.
You just think, fuck, like they're doing, this, they're doing that, they're doing all this content, like they're training all these people, like, they're running whatever, doing, whatever it is. They seem to be doing double the amount of work that you are. They probably are doing double the amount of work because they've got twice as much time.
Yeah.
Like,
It's so true.
it's so, and all these fucking bullshit motivational business coaches, well, if it's important to you, you'll find the time. Sorry, mate, but like my fucking diary is like, dropping, going to work 2 hours. So my day is like, get up at 5:30, get up at 5, get to work for 5:30. So I've got half an hour in the morning where I'll do a social post. Then I do 2 hours of coaching, back for the school run, slam breakfast down my neck, deliver the kids to school, go back to the gym, another hour of coaching. And then some days I'm looking after my youngest son. So, and we're having to do like the shopping, cooking dinners, all this sort of stuff. It's not like, there's no time there. Like, it's busy. And then it's back to the gym to teach classes. And then it's training some days. And then you're back, and if the kids are asleep, great, you can have dinner and actually spend some time with your wife, and I'm talking like an hour max.
Yep. And you're both
then
on your
it's bed.
phones.
Yeah, that's it, sometimes. Yeah, and then it's bed, because you've got to get up, so it's bed by 9:30, because you've got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And then some days I've got like a free day, but it's not a free day because I've got all the admin and all the programming and coaching, trying to clean a house, like trying to record content, trying to train myself. So there's like a full day of stuff before you have to pick the kids up again. So I pick the kids up and drop them off every day at school. So like there is no free time that can be utilised. Maybe on a Sunday, but that's the only day I don't work.
Yeah, and you want to have downtime.
So I've got to actually spend some time with the family, otherwise they're going to go mad.
But
So it's like,
you're right.
People don't get like that if you don't have kids and a family and you're trying to like run a business and train, you have got so much free time. You just don't realise how much free time you've got because you don't know how busy you can actually be.
No, and it's not your fault because we were the same, right? Before kids. And it's only when you look back, you're like, fucking hell.
We spent so much time on the sofa watching TV.
Yeah.
So much
just
time.
wasting time, really.
Yeah.
But I was chatting to Dusty, one of the guys at our gym. I mean, what is he, mid to late 20s?
I think he might be 29.
29, yeah. And I was chatting to him a little while ago about that. I was like, God, you guys have got so much time to train and it's so cool, I'm so envious. And he was like, yeah, but most guys my age, they want what you've got. They want a wife and kids and a settled life. And do you know what I mean? You are right, the grass is always greener because you just got to work with what you have, haven't you? I think
Yeah.
we do all right as parents. We train, we get it in when we can, don't we?
I'm buzzing, mate. Like I'm living the dream.
I feel like it's a sweet
Getting paid
spot.
to like teach people to lift and teach people jiu-jitsu, and that pays the mortgage and gives us an okay quality life.
Yeah.
And I can train like pretty frequently. Like it's fucking hard. Like as I just laid out, like there's no time. But like, how are you going to live your life?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah. Right.
Like this is it.
Yeah. Be in the moment.
This is it.
Be happy with. Yeah. Exactly.
This is it. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not working towards like a better life. I guess I could earn more money. Like that'd be great. Send me money. But like, which would take a bit of the stress down. But like, what am I going to be? Say I earn 10 times what I earn now. What am I doing?
Yeah. There's such a culture these days with constantly, what's next? Do you know what I mean? What's the next?
Oh, I'm very much like that in my head.
We all are though. It's the culture that we live in. It's that. Well, where's the next bump in productivity or income or whatever? It's like sometimes you just got to sit back and go, do you know what? This is cool. The kids are little. It's enjoyable. There's chaos, but
fucking hard work.
Fucking hard work, but like.
But
one day you'll miss it.
Yeah,
that's the crazy thing.
And if they were just like taken away like that, your life would be shit.
I heard a great. I guess it's a motivational quote, but it's something that I always try and remember when the kids are really pissing me off, which is fairly often.
Most hours,
yeah. Is imagine yourself at 80 years old.
Yeah.
And you get the opportunity to go back to being this age for a day when the kids are little. Imagine the mindset you'd be in. Put yourself in that mindset.
It. You'd be in.
You'd drink every moment in, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And just
you'd be so present with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to try and remember, but fuck knows, I don't manage that fairly often.
No. Well, I had a nice morning this morning, actually, when I got back from work. Because they're on half term, like there's no pressure that we don't have to get them into school. Usually it's like I get back, we've got 20 minutes to get them to dressed and to school. The school's next door, so it's not too bad. But anyway, because they didn't have that, I had like an hour to make my breakfast and then sit down with them and before I needed to go back to work. And I had to deliver them to my parents in that time, but apart from that. So we had about 40 minutes. And we just sat down and like watched the Simpsons movie, like Brilliant. Some of the Simpsons movie. And it was like, well, good.
Quality time.
Yeah, but yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Like it's fucking.
It is, because it's so easy when you're watching the movie to think, oh, cool, I got a bit of time off, right? Let me just try and do that bit of content, and you're just buzz. Where in fact you could just be like, fuck it, let's just enjoy. Enjoy just sitting with my kids. It's easy to just be thinking of what's coming up, what you're doing next, sort of thing. Yeah.
But I guess you've got it, like early on when I started doing the PT business. Early on, I built a spreadsheet. Love a spreadsheet. And just like charted out every hour of the day. And then we sort of use that same thing for like a family planner. And like there's no time like that isn't allotted.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're charting it out. And you might not use that time for what you're supposed to be doing. Like you might be like, fuck it, I'm just going to sit and watch TV. Like, and that's a decision you make in the moment. But like really there is like from like 5 till like 9, every hour is accounted for.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you want to be productive and train and try and run a business and all that sort of stuff, like you need to be like that.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, oh, I'm going to do this today. And it's like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Like you need to actually be on it.
Yeah.
And like I kind of learned that quite early on doing PT, that like your time is like,
it's precious.
Yeah. You need to use it properly.
Definitely.
Yeah. You must get the same, because obviously you're not a PT business, but you run a music business and you've got your band and stuff like. So it's
it's different for me because I'm a freelance guy really, and so I hop between various bands. And I teach. I've got a teaching business, but that is that's fairly easy to run. It's just a case of corresponding with the parents, and got a studio at home, so that's all fine. I don't have to travel anywhere. And the bands are, there's always another guy running the show. I'm just hired for what I can play, sort of thing. So I don't have all of that stress of kind of having to organise that and logistically. I get involved with it a lot with the main band, the Travelling Hands that I play with, to help the gaffer out on the gigs and things like that. But I think it's a bit easier in a way because I can just kind of just be myself, if you know what I mean. It is still hectic. There's still a lot of plates spinning still. And and straddling different bands and sorting dates out and there's TBCs in the diary and is this one kind of ready? Is this one confirmed? Oh, I've got time. There's another gig come in. It's just you're constantly kind of balancing all of that, as well as teaching and new students and this student wants this and that and they've got this coming up and doing D&V things and do you know what I mean? There's a lot of little parts to it, but it's all fairly. I've been doing it a long time. So do you know what I mean?
Get to a rhythm, don't you?
Yeah. But I do feel that shift work thing. I do get that sometimes. If I've done a gig, for example, and I've come in on a Wednesday and we're there at 10 a.m. and I've got in from a gig at like 2 in the morning, you do feel it. You do like, and it does. And the older you get, as any of you post 40 will know, that recovery after like a hangover or a late night, it extends, doesn't it?
Can't drink anymore. Well,
it's rough.
Probably twice a year.
Yeah. Like I have a drink, but getting drunk, I just heavy drinking is just, especially if you're someone who trains, you just feel it, don't you? You really do feel it.
Yeah. How long are we on? What time are we on?
Oh, well, let's have a look.
Do you know roughly?
It is 35 minutes.
Okay, that's not too bad. There is another question, isn't there, about S&C?
The other one is.
While you look that up, I'm going to have a drink of my kombucha. LA Brewery. This is my favourite drink.
Sponsor
if you're
us.
watching, please sponsor me and just send me crates of this stuff.
Is that the stuff you got with my birthday?
It's the same people, yeah. But it's their blush, sparkling kombucha.
Banging.
It's banging, isn't
Definitely
it? Yeah.
sponsor us. Send us crates of that.
And the best thing about this is when I'm teaching the kids classes, people think I'm drinking a beer or cough syrup.
Yeah, like cough syrup. It looks like one of them French stubbies, doesn't it?
Or like I'm like sipping on purple drank.
Just a link to us, that's all it is.
Just gets me through the day.
Yeah, so my mate James, he said, in fact, I'm going to read it out because it was quite wordy, but I'm going to paraphrase a bit if I can find it. So, strength and conditioning. What type of training can I focus on to give me that deceptive strength? So he's basically saying, how can he get stronger without getting too much bigger? Because and having to go up a weight category and then being in there with the big boys sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, most people. So your body as it is, the muscles you have, you could probably, let's say you could harness with like the best training protocol and everything, and over like 10, 20 years, you could harness, let's say, and I'm going to make up a number now, but let's say you could harness 60% of their strength. And that is the max human training potential that you could get out of your muscles. And so what I mean by that is if we put you in a bicep curl machine, and you were the strongest you could ever be, let's say you could curl 50 kilos. But if I electrocute your muscle, you could probably curl 80 kilos. Contractile ability is way higher than we can ever tap into.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah? So you and you'll just do it. Fucking hell. So that muscle's got that potential, but you just can't send the signals from your brain through your nervous system to that muscle as hard as we can when we fucking power a load of fucking watts in there.
Yeah.
So let's say the most you could ever achieve is 60%. Most people, it's people that, let's say you might be at 30%, 30%. And so you've got another 30% you could add on without making that muscle any bigger.
Yeah.
You don't need to make the muscle bigger to make it stronger. Because most people are nowhere near their potential that they could achieve with their current amount of muscle mass.
Yeah.
So if your guy, he's 90 kilos, he must have, unless he's a fucking slug, he must have a fairly decent amount of muscle mass.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to get any bigger to get stronger, unless he is at that elite end, which he probably isn't, because that's top 1% of strength athletes.
Yeah.
So what probably happens is as he pushes his weight training up and he starts trying to get stronger, he's training harder, higher volume, he's probably just eating more.
Yeah.
Because that, anyone who's trained hard will know that as you really start pushing your strength training, you're hungrier.
Yeah.
Because you're training hard. But really you need to go through that process of tracking your calories and knowing what your maintenance calories are and just hitting that and then spreading those calories kind of out at the right times throughout the day so that you're not overeating. Maybe you're having your breakfast, lunch, dinner, but maybe you're having a pre and post workout meal as well. So you're kind of managing your hunger, having the right things at the right times in terms of what energy you need throughout the day. Whereas if you're just like winging it with your food, like you probably, and I've seen this all the time with people where as they start doing strength training, they start putting on weight, and it's just because they're like more hungry from training, so they're eating more and they put on weight.
Yeah.
But it's not that you are, just because you start lifting doesn't mean you're going to get bigger.
Yeah.
If you're in a deficit, you could be lifting really hard and you'll be losing weight.
Yeah.
But you might still be getting stronger.
Yeah.
Like it depends on the person, depends how experienced they are, etc., etc.
Yeah. It's funny, it's strength, isn't it? Some dudes that you roll with who are just, I guess sometimes naturally, but also sometimes they're at a stage in their training where they have got a high strength to weight ratio, and they get older, and it's just like, hey, that's a bit like a little guy get older. It's like handling a gorilla.
Yeah. People are very strong.
Yeah.
But I think the thing is with it, it's interesting, isn't it? Because you cannot be very strong and feel very strong and heavy on the mat because you're very technical and you just understand how to use what you've got in a really excellent way.
The leverage of it all.
Yeah. Or you can be really strong and not feel, and you can tell they're strong, but like they're just not using their strength well. So like there's a big technical, tactical component to it.
Yeah.
To answer your mate's question, obviously he needs to join the Fight Squad strength program. £29 a month.
Yep. It's
Everything's
a winner.
done for
Come
you.
on, James.
It's run through an app. Message me. I'll sort you out. But there's no secret formula really. Just fucking lift some weights. Just manage manage to consistently lift weights in a way that you can do and you enjoy and you can repeatedly do week after week, month after month, year after year, 2 to 3 times a week. Manage your volume and intensity so that you're not getting injured, you're not tired on the mats, and it's just about consistency. Whether you're Olympic lifting, kettlebell training, powerlifting, just doing bodybuilding, it doesn't matter. Like
You're still doing it.
it's just that consistency and finding like a rhythm with it. And if you're worried about getting bigger, you need to address your issues with food. That's the issue. It's not the training.
Yeah,
it's
right.
the food.
Makes a lot of sense. Be more intelligent with the nutrition and when and what.
Just like track calories for like a month. Like you could do it for a week, but you need some good data. Weigh yourself every morning. Track your calories. Increase your calories as much as you can whilst you're seeing your weight maintain. And then when you see your weight starting to go up, pull the calories down by like 100 or whatever. And then that's going to be your top end maintenance calories. And then just eat that.
Yeah.
And then work out your timings. Like it might look different on different days, but work out your timings. Like maybe you just have breakfast, lunch, dinner, and that's fine. That's fine. But maybe you think, oh God, I'm really hungry after I train, and then that's going to lead me to snacking, and that's going to take me over. So what I'm going to do is take a bit off my dinner or whatever, and I'm going to have a post-training like meal because I know that like helps to keep me in my calorie allowance for that day. Do that for like a month. Make sure you're doing it with foods that you enjoy and you like, things that are like your normal diet, just adjusting them to suit the calorie and macro allowance, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? Like just keep going like that.
God, I would struggle to be that organised with it all. But for me,
it is organisation, but it's for a period of time.
Yeah, totally.
Like it doesn't have to be crazy.
I think I'm just too naughty with food.
Yeah, well, that's yeah.
You know, I'm definitely guilty of being a little bit too indulgent sometimes.
Yeah, I think everyone is, and you know, as you get older, you sort of weigh it up. Like, I think for me, for my body composition, if I was going to be like lean and in like the good shape, I should probably be about 75 kilos.
Yeah.
But I'm usually about 81, 82.
Yeah.
Because I can't be asked to do it.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the same.
You know what I mean? Like I just had like 4 cubes of chocolate before we came and did this.
Yeah.
Like, that wouldn't happen. If I'm maintaining 75, 76 kilos, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, although
when
competition's coming up, I'm happy to turn into a savage when it comes to diet and all that kind of thing. I find I can switch fairly easily.
The downside of that is you are having to do quite extreme things with your nutrition to get to a point.
Yeah.
So then that's going to affect your overall productivity and training intensity and volume. You're increasing chances of injury.
Yeah.
You'd be better off just, if you can tolerate it, getting to like your lean physique and then maintaining that all the time. and just learning to eat to maintain that.
I like cake though, man.
That's what I mean. Like as you get older, you just think life's not worth it.
No.
Who cares? Like I can perform well in my current physique.
I've got to the point
I
where
don't need to be fucking lean.
Lean, yeah. I've definitely got to the point where I'm like, I'm not going to be sub 75 ever again.
No.
And that's fine, you know. But I find
you're an old man.
Yeah,
half dead.
Yeah, exactly. But I find it, you know, I normally gravitate between, I think I'm like 86 at the moment, something like that. But I'm not, you know, trying to get the weight off. But when I'm competing, I'm normally like 82-ish. Sub 83, I think.
Yeah, that's not too bad. So you're only losing like 3 kilos.
And I'm normally, I feel like I'm pretty strong at that weight as well, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that, you know. I don't feel like I'm in there with the big boys, if you know what I mean. And I think, I think you know, for anyone who's feeling like that, try going up a division. You might surprise yourself.
Yeah.
You know, I definitely did, and I was like, oh, it's fine. It's not as bad as I thought. I thought I was going to be in there with fucking monsters compared to me, but actually, I didn't. That wasn't the experience I had. It was like, oh, this ain't so bad.
Yeah.
You know, and actually, I'd rather that than go in like lacking energy because I'm struggling to get to that sub 76 category, and I'm just almost all my strength's gone. I'm not enjoying myself. I'm you know, I'd much rather be a bit happier, go in with into a slightly bigger division, and you know, chance my arm.
Definitely.
You know?
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Especially it's like day of the event weigh-ins. Like, there's none of that MMA shit where, like, people are going in dehydrated and then they're rehydrating. You don't need to worry about that.
No.
So, like, you just go and just compete at your natural weight. It's much better.
Definitely.
Than cutting loads of weight.
Yeah.
It's just not worth it.
I mean, we've spoken about this before, haven't we? It's such the weight cutting thing, it's obviously a lot more nuanced than I think I know about. Because on the surface, it just seems so unhealthy.
It is.
So
it is really bad for you. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, more chance of, if you're doing MMA, more chance of getting knocked out because you've just, you know, you've dropped yourself, sometimes water cutted down to this crazy weight, then you just spend 24 hours trying to eat and rehydrate, then you're puffed up again. It's like, that can't be good for you.
No, it's not good for you. Your hormonal system, everything, your endocrine, like, it's just
It's all fucked, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's really bad for you.
Yeah. But then, you know, there would obviously the one championship do the hydration test, but Gareth at Gym 1 was saying that's often very flawed. You know, the idea of it's great, but it can be troublesome. So who knows what the answer is? But you see these guys, like some of the 145ers in the UFC or Bellator, and they're coming in, it's like, fucking hell, you don't look like you're about to step in a cage and fight someone. You look like a
crackhead.
Yeah.
Literally someone
like, with the fucking homeless shelter.
Yeah, not good.
No.
But yeah. Look, I reckon we're going to call it there. I'm just super paranoid that the recording stopped, but like hopefully it hasn't. I haven't checked it. I'm controlling that OCD. Like and subscribe. Press that little bell for notifications. Comment below if you're watching. Give us like one of these. Enjoy our 5th episode. We're raising up the percentage rankings, and we're shooting for that top 1%.
Yeah, we're coming for you, Rogan.
Yes, we are coming for you, fucking Rogan. Right, we'll call it there.
Nice one, guys. See you next time.
Feel like we're setting up like a cheesy like family photo.
It's that scene from Ghost.
Hi. Right, we've got a good one today. Sent by Martin. Thank you, Martin. It's a banger. It's a shoulder lock from the back. And like, I want it to work so bad. Actually, it's a wrist lock shoulder lock, which makes it even better. I want it to work so bad, but I just don't think it does. But like, let's just try it out.
Not sure though. There's a chance.
It works. So firstly, it works. But it's we're in a weird position. Like, this is not a position that would ever happen in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
This is like demonstrators. This is demonstrators back control.
Yeah.
But you know, if you do jiu-jitsu, you never end up here. Like, you know, we would like fall off to the side. Yeah, you'd be lying on your side like this, okay? So, for this to work, we need to reach under, grab. So I've got like a handcuff. I'm coming under, getting a gable grip, and then I'm pulling his wrist into his side. I need to put my back here, and then I'm kind of like flaring his elbow down. So it looks like a shoulder lock. It does feel horrible on the front of the shoulder, but I'm like trapping his wrist on his side. He wants me, really, like, you're trying to find a way to get your hand behind your back because it kind of like alleviates the pressure. But if I'm like jamming it into his side, like, it's hard for him to alleviate the pressure. So the submission, I like it actually.
It's nice.
Like, so we're here, like, you know, I'd be controlling the back, and then I'd reach under, get my gable grip, pull it into your side. Like, it's a cool like wrist lock, like discomfort on the shoulder.
The only thing, sorry, come on.
Yeah, well, you're probably going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
If we end up like Yeah, let's scooch this way. If we end up like here, like as I come under, like firstly, it's very hard for me to actually like get this grip, and like I kind of can't. Right? It's really hard for me to get my other hand underneath, get the gable grip, and then pull it like through. Like,
well, my weight's on my arm, so I can just bear down on that and stop
it's super easy for him to stop.
Yeah.
So if we go to the other side and we do it on the like the top arm, if you like, again, same sort of thing. It's really awkward to get that, and then like it's just super awkward to actually set up the grip. So yes, it works, but we're in a position that you would never actually be in sparring. If you're on your side, which is where you're more likely to be, it's not legit.
The move's good, the position is invalid. Invalid, is that the right word?
It's an invalid.
It's an invalid. The only other defence
It
I
will
thought...
work on invalids. So that's fine. Everyone needs to be submitted sometimes.
So if you try it again, the only other defence I thought of in this position, if you do end up in this position, is to gable yourself and just sort of tie off like that, and then that kind of nullifies it a bit, unless he's fucking strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, my other defence would be to fall off to that side, so the weight's on this, and you can't pull it through. But yeah, if the move does feel effective, it's just, as Henry said, you're not going to be in this sitting back take very often.
It's just not a real position. Like, it's a demonstrator's back take.
Yeah.
This is how you would demonstrate. Like, oh, we're going to do a rear naked choke.
Yeah.
Like, you might set up just because it's easier to demonstrate like this, but in reality, you are either on one side, the underhook side, or the overhook side, or maybe you're flat on your back. Maybe you work flat on your back, but like, I like it. I want it to work. I'm going to try it in sparring, but my thought is, shit.
White belts
not
only.
legit.
Yeah.
If you can sit them up, maybe.
For a second.
Yeah.
Try that. So
maybe like imagine like I've like taken you down somehow, and then I've sat you up to here, and then I pull it in, and I reach under, and I'm like bringing it in.
maybe. That doesn't feel like that feels like a worse angle for you to be in.
Yeah.
When you're right up against me like that, and your back's in the way of me limb palming, maybe Che could get that.
Yeah.
Some nasty addition.
We
Shout out
haven't
to Che.
tried this one in sparring.
No.
So we'll get back to you. Maybe we'll do a part 2. My initial thought is shit, not legit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.